Hey guys, I hope you're having a blessed day. My name is Stephen Martin, and this video is going to be a little bit different. Last week, I lost my brother. He had diabetes. He went years of not taking care of himself. He suffered from a lot of depression, and yeah, he was my only sibling. I already lost my mother, my father, and both my grandparents. So he was the last member of my immediate family. Um, it's hard. You know, I wanted to look for something to kind of say during this video from the Word, and I just opened the Bible right now, and this just popped out just instantly. It says, Second Chronicles 7:41. I'm sorry, 6:41. Now arise, Lord God, and come to your resting place, you and the ark of your might. May your priest, Lord God, be clothed with salvation. May your faithful people rejoice in your goodness. Lord God, do not reject your anointed one. Remember the great love promised to David, your servant. That's beautiful. You know, my brother was an atheist for the majority of his life. He found God only a few years ago. And the best gift you can give to your loved ones is letting them know that when you passed from this earth that you were saved. That's the greatest gift. In my sadness, I know my brother is in heaven. I know he's not suffering anymore. He was suffering a lot. He suffered a lot of pain. He was going through poverty. He suffered a lot. I tried and I tried and I tried to get him to live with me here in Texas, but he refused. But I went to visit him last February. He was in the hospital and he was in bad shape. And I knew when I went to see him that was going to be the last time. I knew in my heart. We had some talks, and every time it was time for me to leave the hospital and go back to my hotel room, he didn't want me to leave. You know, my brother and I grew up the majority of our life not getting along. Um, we honestly didn't start getting along till, and I could be wrong, I'm bad with time, approximately maybe 10 years ago. For the majority of my life, he hated me. And I'm being honest when I say my brother was not the most pleasant person to be around. He was very grumpy, very moody. That was him. You know, we were polar opposites our whole life. I was always, happy and joking around. My brother was always very serious. And even after my mother passed, we didn't become close. Like I said, it wasn't until maybe around 10 years ago, give or take, where I think he saw the changes that I made in my life being real. They weren't just a front. And we just started bonding. These past few years, we became very close. And it was a beautiful thing. You know, well, my brother knew he was going to go. He passed away of heart failure. And he would post things and say things, about time. How, he wished he would have taken more chances, more risk. He wished he would have told people that he loved them and when he did and whatnot. This life is so short. And even though my brother didn't have money, I guarantee you money was the last thing on his mind. The last thing. One day we're going to all return to dust. We can't take anything with us. Anything. This, I've lost, like I said, my mom, my dad, both my grandparents. I've been homeless. I've suffered extreme poverty. I've had illness where pancreatitis, where that was really bad. I've been through it all, but this, for some reason, affected me differently. A lot harder, but it also opened my eyes. Should we strive to live a better life? Of course, of course. But should that be our main focus in life? No, no. I've been praying to God lately that I want my life to serve Him. I don't want my last day just to reflect on everything about me. How much I gained, what I lost, this, that. I think that would be a sad ending. I want my last day to be able to say, I served the Lord my whole life. I gave my life to the Lord. And you can't earn your way into heaven. You can't buy your way into heaven. But everything's meaningless at the end. Everything. So why not live for something that has meaning? Serving your Creator. Serving the Lord. So that's what really just impacted me. Like, I don't want to live to serve me. I want to live to serve Him. I want to do something that's going to make my Father in heaven proud. Because whatever I do here on earth is going to be forgotten. At the end of the day, I'm just a drop in a very large bucket. That's it. I want to spend more time loving, more time giving, more time serving. One thing I really want to get across, and I should have said this earlier, and I apologize, is recognizing someone's depression. Yes, I knew my brother was depressed, but I could have done a much better job, much better, of being there for him. I failed in that department very bad. Sometimes people might go through something and we may think, it's been this amount of time, it's been this many months or these many years. It's not up to us to decide when people get over things. It's not up to us to decide how significant someone's trauma is. If we love someone, we should just try to recognize that it's present and try to be there for them, no matter what it is. And I guess with myself, I found God when I was 26. And God helped me get through the toughest times in life. My brother didn't find God till much later. But even then, and he didn't talk a lot about it, but you could just see the impact that his depression had on him. Because he was so depressed, it made him not care. It made him not want to live. My brother couldn't see a positive future. If you can't envision something good, it's hard to chase good. Does that make sense? So my brother couldn't envision getting out of poverty. He couldn't envision getting his health in order. to him, it was much easier to accept I'm gonna die. And when I do, I won't be in pain anymore. I'll be with my mom again. I'll be with my dad again. I'll be with my grandparents again. I'll be in heaven with the Father. And of course, that's where we all want to end up. But we shouldn't live every day saying, I just don't want to try and just wait for my day. That's not what the Lord wants. If that's it, then what's the purpose of life? Your Father in heaven loves you. But see, if you don't have a vision, then what are you going to chase? What are you going to go for? If you don't have hope, my brother didn't have any of that. He didn't have hope. He didn't have a vision. And we need to be there for people. And when they're going through things, yeah, like my brother would push me away. And he pushed me away, and I just was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. But maybe there were different ways to go about it. I mean, I don't know. But we need to recognize when people are hurting, try to be there for them the best way we can. And one thing I didn't do, I never asked God, Lord, how can I be there for him? How can I get him to think differently to try and fight this? I didn't. I was just constantly, Mario, do this, Mario, do that. And that wasn't the right way to go about it. But, we see someone hurting, recognize that and try to be there the best way you can. And I don't care how cliche it sounds, prayer is the number one key. Pray, 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 pray. But pray for God to give you a revelation of how to best be there for them. It's like parents when they have kids, they don't love all kids the same. A parent knows with their kids, like my mother did not love me the same as my brother. She knew my brother was not very affectionate, so she didn't shower him with affection. She knew I was very affectionate, so my mother showered me with affection. A mother knows how to love their children the same way your Father in heaven knows how to love you. Your Father in heaven will direct you on how to love that person and give them what they need. So my biggest message today is recognizing someone's hurting and try to be there for them. If you love them, try to be there for them. And please, please just be aware of their feelings. You don't want to do anything that's going to capitalize on their depression, that's going to make it worse. Sometimes all people want is time. And I'm sorry to say this, but guys, I got to be honest. I'm a very selfish person with time, and I hate to say that. That's something I need to pray about, something I really need to work on. Because my brother would call me. And he would call me with me. I'm just like, okay, we don't really have much else to talk about. He doesn't want to talk about this, so all right, talk to you later, bro. He's like, okay. But he was reaching out. He wanted time. And unfortunately, we don't realize things until it's too late. And then we live with regret. Oh, man, I wish I could go back. I wish I could say this. I wish I could do that. So try to recognize when someone's hurting. Ask the Lord, what can I do for this person? What can I do? And pray for them. But hope, vision, that's important, because when people lose hope, when they don't have the ability to vision something better, where do they go from there? You understand? And like I said, the best gift you can give your loved ones is knowing where you go when your time is done here on earth. Letting them know, my loved one is with the Father. That's one of the best gifts. That's the best gift that you can give your loved ones. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I ask you to please keep me in your prayers. I love you all so, so much. So much. Take care and God bless you.